Joining me now is Republican Congressman and member of the House Freedom Caucus, Bob Good. You got a poker face on, sir. You tell me, are you going to vote for a bipartisan deal?
Well, the House has done its job. We spent 90 days, as you know, negotiating a debt ceiling increase. The President and the Senate were MIA, on the sidelines, nowhere to be found. So most Republicans have never voted for a debt ceiling increase. No Republicans wanted to increase the debt limit. What we'd like to do is to cut spending so much that we would never have to increase the debt ceiling again with a record amount of debt to GDP we haven't had since World War II, $32 trillion in national debt. However, Republicans were responsible and reasonable. And as you know, we have come together with a deal to raise the debt limit by a modest, by D.C. standards, $1.5 trillion in exchange for real cuts and real reforms that put us on a path to fiscal stability as a country. It's critically important in every component of the Limit, Save, Grow bill. We expect Speaker McCarthy and Republicans to be united, remain united, that this is the bill that the Senate needs to pass. As you know, 45 senators have signed on being in support of our bill. That means the Senate can't pass anything else without those 45 senators. So my hope would be that the Senate, Chuck Schumer, and the President will not allow the nation to suffer any consequence from not raising the debt limit by passing the Limit, Save, Grow bill.
A lot of Republicans have voted to raise the debt ceiling in the past. Maybe not Freedom Caucus members, but a lot of Republicans have, including under Republican presidents. Your colleague Matt Gaetz said that the deadline, this June 1st deadline, that a default isn't real, that it's made up. How do you feel about that?
Well, to clarify what I said, most Republicans in the House today have never voted for a debt ceiling increase. But what is your question from Mr. Gaetz, rather? I'm sorry.
Matt Gaetz said just ignore these negotiations, blow it off unless President Biden agrees to everything that the Republicans want.
What he's speaking to is there is no X day, June 1 or whatever. Now we're hearing, of course, that it might be as late as July 1. But there's no X date where there's going to be some dramatic catastrophe because the debt ceiling wasn't raised. If President Biden and Chuck Schumer don't agree to raise the debt limit for the Republican bill that's been passed, which, again, is a responsible bill with reasonable cuts and reforms, then you would begin to have the inability for us to fund all of the government spending that's been voted on by the Democrat majority and by this White House, passed by this White House over the last couple of years. You would have eventually a forced $100 billion in reduction in spending because we're bringing in a record $400 billion on a monthly basis. We are spending about $500 billion. We could not continue to do that, but there's more than enough revenue to pay the interest on the debt, which is only about $70 billion a month. There's more than enough to fund Social Security, Medicare, veterans benefits, and the national defense. Democrats are not going to allow to have a forced reduction in spending or funding this government. So if we hold the line, they will pass Limit, Save, Grow, and that's what we need to do.
So you're saying just hold the line. I hear you there. Let me ask you about taxes and raising taxes. I know you weren't in Congress for the Trump tax cuts and that bill, but according to the CBO, that added $1.8 trillion over 11 years. That is a big addition to the national debt. Why would you not put taxes back on the table for the very, very rich among us and corporations? Why would that not be a part of these discussions if you're talking about trying to lower the deficit?
The fact of the matter is we don't have a revenue problem because the Trump Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which I was not here before, as you said, I didn't vote for that, but I would have voted for it, and that's why we have a record $400 billion in revenue coming in. Do you know if we just went back to pre-vote COVID spending across the board, which was about $4.5 trillion for all mandatory and discretionary spending pre-COVID 2019, the $5 trillion a year we're realizing in revenue right now would mean a $500 billion surplus at pre-COVID spending with current revenue levels because of the Trump tax cuts. We don't have a revenue problem. We've got a massive spending problem. And by the way, 80% of Americans in the polls overwhelmingly say they either don't want the debt ceiling raised, that's about 20%, or 60% say, so combined 80% together, 60% say they only want it raised with cuts and reforms in place to put us on a path to fiscal responsibility.
Let me ask you,
the Biden-Schumer position is only supported by 20% of Americans.
Let me ask a question in here. I know you said that you would have voted for the Trump tax cuts. Would you vote to extend the Trump tax cuts?
Oh, absolutely, because again,
that
is incentivizing. That's incentivizing the right things.
The CBO says,
that is key to that is key.
$3.5 trillion to the deficit.
We cannot sustain the 1 to 2% anemic Biden growth. We got to get back to 3 to 4%, the Trump growth patterns that was fueling our economy previously. So it's growth as well as cuts that'll get us on a path to fiscal stability.
Let me ask you a question about the deficit, though. If you are going to vote to extend those tax cuts, that's a $3.5 trillion add to the deficit per the CBO. That is a big addition. If you want to cut spending and you want to get us on a path to a balanced budget, I mean, it seems like that would be in conflict with your goal.
That's historically just inaccurate. Every time we cut taxes, we generate more growth, we generate more revenue. The Democrats predicted back in 2017 that when we had those tax cuts, we would have a reduction in revenue and therefore increase the deficit. And the Democrats lie and say that the deficit and the national debt has grown because of the tax cuts. That's simply not true. When revenue as a bottom line number, when you grow the pie, you only have to take a smaller percentage of it to fund your government. We've grown the pie, and that's why we've got record revenue coming in. We've never been $5 trillion a year in revenue until the last couple of years, and that is in large part because of the Trump economic policies, including the tax cuts.
It's not the Democrats. It's the CBO that says this. I'm not naming any Democrats. I'm giving you the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate your time and do appreciate you joining us.
Great to be with you. Thank you.
Coming up, a teen arrested